And it looked like Caitlin Clark just gifted her entire team her signature merch, but it wasn't just the team. Every fan that shows up to Gamebridge tonight will get the first release of Caitlin Clark's signature merchandise. About the Indiana Fever not showing love to Caitlin Clark, because to me, it took too long. Well, guess what, guys? Now we all know why it took.
Okay, so the basketball world just saw one of the wildest meltdowns ever in the WNBA. And honestly, it feels like it's fueled by pure jealousy and a whole lot of desperation. Caitlin Clark's brand new Nike signature logo just came out, and everyone is talking about it. The response has been absolutely huge, worldwide. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is probably in Chicago right now, just glued to her phone, watching all this unfold. She's seeing the person she really wants to go up against completely destroy every single marketing record in women's basketball.
The entire, Gamebridge is now a Caitlin Clark thing. There's now a whole Caitlin Clark thing outside of Gamebridge and stuff. I expect shirts on every single seat once her apparel is out. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. I would hope they do something, but I have no idea. That cost.
Nike didn't just hand Caitlin Clark a logo. They basically gave her a whole phenomenon. Seriously, this interlocking double C design, it's everywhere you look now, plastered on billboards, all over social media, and selling out quicker than tickets for a Beyoncé concert. This isn't just about some new gear. It's total cultural domination. So while Caitlin Clark is out here showing everyone she's the absolute queen of basketball marketing, you can bet Angel Reese is probably at home trying to figure out how to get people to actually care about her Reebok shoes.
I've been telling y'all to stay patient. I've been telling y'all that Nike takes their time, that A'ja Wilson's shoe deal was 2 years in the making, that Paige Beckers had PEs, not her own signature shoe, and that Caitlin Clark's was 100% coming. And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product line. But they just announced, breaking news right now, we have a logo. That is the official Caitlin Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon, with signature shoes coming.
So Nike officially brought Clark in as one of their signature athletes. And this new logo shows they're treating her exactly like the superstar she is. That logo, with the two interlocking C's and a hidden third C, it actually has some deep meaning. It's all about her amazing connection with fans everywhere, her massive confidence, that relentless drive she has, and obviously, her incredible shooting ability. Basically, Nike gets it. They know Caitlin's appeal goes way, way beyond just what she does on the court. And get this, they're dropping an entire signature collection based around her, with shirts, hoodies, pants, all this premium gear, starting October 1st.
It looks really unique, I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy, all of it, it's like aura.
We love it! It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
The numbers don't sugarcoat anything, and they're pretty brutal for anyone trying to keep up with the Caitlin Clark machine. Her $28 million, 8-year Nike deal, that's not just the biggest contract ever in women's basketball history. That's Nike screaming, "We own this sport now," and it's true. Every piece of Clark merchandise vanishes off the shelves like it's solid gold. Her jerseys don't just sell out, they practically cause stampedes. People are camping outside stores, refreshing websites until they crash, and paying prices that would honestly make luxury car dealers jealous.
How do we have an Angel Reese shoe before a Caitlin Clark shoe? It's almost like Nike forgot about Caitlin Clark and just moved on to Juju, because they announced stuff about her signature shoe coming out in March with details of colorway, style, price, the whole 9 yards. And all they've done with Caitlin Clark is give her a colorway in the Kobe shoes and just calling them the Caitlin Clark Kobe's. But even just that, they sold out in less than a minute. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy for Angel Reese. She got her signature shoe and was featured on the 2K26 cover with the signature shoes on, but I'm just
But here's where it gets really interesting. Imagine Angel Reese sitting there in her Chicago Sky uniform watching all this happen. She's probably feeling like she's outside a fancy 5-star restaurant, just staring through the window, wishing she could be inside. Her big Reebok deal? Oh, she definitely thought she was making some huge moves there. She signed with Reebok apparently with a little help from Shaq pulling some strings. And she even got what she thought was a major win. The promise of her very own signature shoe line.
That it was announced that Angel Reese will release her first ever signature sneaker with Reebok on September 18th. So it says the Angel Reese 1 Diamond Dust, made for the spotlight, available on 9/18. And as you can see here, it looks like there's 2 colorways that are going to be released, an all white colorway and a pink colorway. I love that all of the girls are releasing pink shoes. Like Asia has a pink shoe, Sabrina has a pink shoe. But this is big news for Angel, and I know that we've been talking about the rookies and their signature shoes, and everyone has been waiting on Kate.
She genuinely thought she was going to totally revolutionize the game with her signature shoe, which was set to launch in 2026. That was supposed to be her big moment, right? But then Caitlin Clark came along and basically showed everyone what real star power actually looks like. So now, Reese is figuring out the hard way that a big headline in a Nike press release is a lot bigger than a tiny footnote in some Reebok promotion. Clark's Nike logo collection drops October 1st, and her first signature Nike shoe is also coming in 2026, which is pretty much the same exact timeline as Angel's Reebok shoe. The huge difference? When Clark announces something, the internet practically crashes. When Angel announces something, people just scroll right past it like it's just another ad for cheap car insurance.
Angel Reese first signature shoe is set to release. It's set to release. Now, it's not a bad shoe. This is my only problem with it. The colorway. Like, I just feel like they could have had a little more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially being that it's for the All-Star game. Like, why do a basic white shoe? Man, you could have did so much more to make this shoe pop. And y'all just like, nah, we just gonna do a regular white shoe.
So, let's just look at the actual numbers, okay? Caitlin Clark's jersey sales are sitting at number 2 in all of basketball. That's the entire sport, including the NBA, folks. She's literally outselling guys like LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Edwards. Her draft pick jersey, that was the fastest selling ever in any sport, gone in less than an hour. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's merchandise, well, let's just say you probably wouldn't have to worry about it being sold out. Nike says Clark's logo represents her expanding range on the court, and they're totally right. This woman has expanded her reach so far beyond just basketball that she's practically in a different universe from everyone else. She's not just playing the game, she's completely rewriting the rulebook for what it means to be a superstar athlete. Her logo isn't just a cool design, it's a statement of dominance that every other player in the league has to see everywhere they look.
Caitlin Clark is simply the talk of the internet today. Her and Taylor Swift broke the damn internet. Yes, bro. And for all the people that was hitting me up about Caitlin Clark's signature logo, somebody said it looked like Chanel. I said it looked like Gucci. But whatever it is a luxury sports brand. I can't think of very many luxury sports brands. Guys, yeah, do you, like, I'm a fashion guy. And I understand what Nike is doing. Nike is trying to get into the luxury brand style, the luxury department style.
Now let's talk about something that's almost outside the sport itself. Angel Reese, meanwhile, is over here trying to convince everyone that her AR Halo logo is somehow revolutionary. Look, the only thing that's gonna need a halo is her career if she keeps trying to compete with Clark's star power. You can put all the halos you want on your branding, but even heaven couldn't boost her merchandise sales enough to compete with what Caitlin Clark is doing with just 2 interlocking Cs. The global reach of Clark's Nike partnership, that's something Angel Reese can only dream about. Nike isn't just selling Clark merchandise here in the US, they're pushing it internationally. This woman's brand seriously goes beyond borders, beyond languages, beyond cultures. Basketball fans in Europe, Asia, South America, they're all buying Caitlin Clark gear, not because they have to, but because they genuinely want to be connected to greatness. That's the kind of magnetic pull Nike pays $22 billion for, and it's exactly what Angel Reese doesn't have. Plus, let's just talk about the jealousy, because it's so clear in Angel's recent actions. Every single time Caitlin Clark achieves something new, Angel magically finds a way to jump into the conversation. She won't answer direct questions about Clark. She gives these super short answers to reporters and acts like admitting Caitlyn's success would somehow make her own success smaller. That's not confidence, that's pure raw envy, just dressed up in some fancy clothes.
She seeks that attention, right? And another thing is, it's obvious she's jealous of Caitlyn. Every interview, every tweet, everything is about Caitlyn. I haven't yet to see Caitlyn even respond to her yet. Have y'all?
No.
So when you asking me like, yo, I get it, everybody's watching women's basketball now, who's the real reason? Well, yes, you are right. Reese has a small amount of that, right? But the other real credit goes to Caitlyn. Not just because what she's doing outside the court and she's waving her hand, doing all that. It's because she's giving buckets in basketball, right? And she looks like Steph Curry. And that's simple.
The business implications of all this are just staggering. Nike's investment in Caitlyn Clark is already paying off big time, in ways that must have Reebok executives totally questioning their life choices. Clark's merchandise isn't just selling, it's creating genuine cultural moments. Remember when she wore her new logo pants to practice? That became instant news, and when her all-star jerseys dropped in July 2024, they were gone in 15 minutes flat. That's not just selling stuff, that's event-level marketing that you just can't buy with money. Angel Reese's Reebok partnership, by comparison, honestly feels a little like a participation trophy. Sure, she's getting her own shoe in 2026, but seriously, who's actually gonna buy it? Her signature model is launching in 3 colorways with names like Diamond Dust and Me Bounds. How adorable. It's almost like watching someone try to compete with a Ferrari by just souping up a go-kart. Caitlyn Clark's Nike deal has so many elements that Angel Reese's Reebok contract could never even come close to matching. Clark gets her own signature collection, a dedicated logo that Nike is pushing all over the world, and marketing support that treats her like the truly transcendent athlete she is. Reebok, meanwhile, is just desperately trying to use Angel Reese to try and rebuild their basketball cred. And honestly, it's really not working.
People are selling the new Caitlyn Clark Kobe's for double, sometimes more than double what they actually paid for them. So it's been estimated there's about 13,000 of these shoes that were released from Nike, and literally within minutes, all sold out for about $190 a piece. People knew these were going to be hot, so resellers were picking them up on the cheap and now doubling and sometimes tripling their profits on a place like eBay. So if you were lucky enough to get a pair of these, put them up on eBay, you're going to sell them for around $350, $400 minimum, depending on the size. And that's just kind of the way it works right now with anything Caitlyn Clark related. The stuff is really hot. Watch for Caitlyn Clark stuff because it sells off the shelves, especially on eBay.
The timing of Clark's logo reveal is just brutal for Angel, really. Right as the WNBA season is winding down and everyone's looking back at the year, Nike drops this massive bombshell. It's like a huge reminder to everyone who really moved the needle in women's basketball. Think about it. Clark isn't even playing right now, and she's still generating more buzz than Angel did in her entire rookie season. So here's what really has to sting for Angel Reese. Caitlyn Clark is showing everyone that real star power goes way beyond just the game itself. And she totally is. Meanwhile, Angel is probably just staring at her phone, seeing all this Caitlyn Clark content flooding her timeline, and wondering how someone who isn't even on the court right now is still dominating every single conversation in the sport. That has to sting. It must feel like watching someone else live the life you thought you deserved.
How Caitlyn Clark can't have anything without some negativity. Sports Illustrated posted this, but I actually read the article. It's just hater. He used random people's opinions on X and Twitter. Fans don't like her logo. No, you don't like the logo. You just found some random people that agree with your opinion. This is called confirmation bias. I can't stand people like that. What they do is they find anybody who confirms their bias. So what they do Google searches and things like that instead of just being objective. No, I think most people like the logo.
The global expansion of Caitlyn Clark's brand through Nike, that's just something Angel Reese simply can't compete with through Reebok. Nike has the infrastructure, the marketing muscle, and the worldwide reach to turn Clark into a household name, even in countries where people barely even know what the WNBA is. Reebok even with Shaquille O'Neal involved, is basically playing catch-up in a game where they're already decades behind. Instead, Clark drops her logo collection first, reminds everyone who the real superstar is, and completely overshadows whatever Reebok was planning to do with Angel's shoe release. The market has absolutely spoken, and it's screaming Caitlin Clark's name loud and clear. Every single jersey sale, every logo reveal, every piece of merchandise that flies off the shelf, that's a huge vote of confidence in Clark and a clear reminder to everyone else that there are definitely levels to this game.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
Caitlin Clark's new Kobe Bryant 5 sneaker sells out online in minutes. There hasn't been this much calamity over a white woman's shoe since Cinderella.
So it's like a glass slipper moment, right? Angel Reese might have that Halo logo, but Caitlin Clark has something way more valuable. Genuine organic fan devotion that turns into cold, hard cash. That global reach of Clark's Nike partnership is seriously something Angel Reese can only dream about. Nike isn't just selling Caitlin Clark merchandise here in the United States. They are pushing it internationally. This is a woman whose brand transcends borders, languages, and cultures. Basketball fans in Europe, Asia, South America, even Africa, they're all buying Caitlin Clark gear. And it's not because they have to, but because they genuinely want to be associated with greatness. That's the kind of magnetic pull Nike pays $28 million for. And it's exactly what Angel Reese just doesn't have. So while Angel Reese is sitting there, probably scrolling through social media, watching Caitlin Clark's Nike logo go absolutely viral across the globe, she's learning a really hard lesson about what real star power actually looks like. It's not about the shoes you wear or the logos you design, it's about the connection you make with fans, the records you break, and the way you elevate everyone around you. Caitlin Clark? She does all of that, and she makes it look effortless.
My problem with Angel Reese is that when we talk about an attitude can make somebody unattractive, her attitude and just her demeanor really rubs me the wrong way. I'm not on the court, so maybe Caitlin Clark has said something crazy to Angel Reese. I have not heard it. Angel Reese, whenever she has the opportunity to throw a shot, she does, and she makes herself look like an ass. They're watching the WNBA because of one person. It's okay. Her talented player, maybe you and Caitlin Clark will share the lead down the line, but most people are watching games because of Caitlin Clark.
The thing is, Angel Reese's reach, through no fault of her own, is just comparatively limited. Reebok simply doesn't have the same global infrastructure or the cultural pull in basketball right now. They're trying to rebuild their entire basketball division after spending years in the shadow of Nike and Adidas. Yes, Reebok did name Shaq as president of Reebok basketball and brought Allen Iverson into leadership. That was a clear move to try and reclaim some glory, and Reebok smartly signed Angel Reese as part of that plan, seeing her as a rising star and a fashion icon they could build around. But let's be real, Reebok is seriously playing catch-up in a game where they're already decades behind. The Caitlin Clark Nike logo going global isn't just a business move. It's a massive cultural statement. It's Nike telling the entire world that this young woman from Iowa is the future of basketball, and everyone else is just playing supporting roles in her story. Angel Reese can keep trying to write her own narrative, but the world has already decided who the real author is, and her name is spelled Caitlin.